they do not want to mention about the presence of the mind, right? So they just want to take only two sub-mind movements, arising and dissolution, right? Arising and dissolutions. So if you look at page number 156, you will know it, right? And later you can read it. Even the Abhidhamma commentators. So for that reason, some of the scholars also they want to they said that the idea of three sub movement is not mentioned in Sutta Pitaka, right? Suttas. So actually it is not correct. So if we look at Anupada Sutta, Majjhima Nikaya, Sutta number 111. So Anupada Sutta, you can find arising, presence, and dissolution of the mind, right? Venerable Sariputta, and that Sutta mentioned how Venerable Sariputta became Arahant. And Venerable Sariputta trying to attain the first jhana. So during he attained the first jhana, he trying to analyze the arising of a particular mental state, arising of feeling, the presence of feeling, and dissolution of feeling, like this, right? So in that sutta also mentioned, in many more sutta also mentioned, so three sub-movement of the mind, right? In Gota Nikaya, chapter 3, sutta number 47, Sankhata Sutta, Sinkhata and Asinkhata. So in that sutta, the Buddha talk about the characteristics of Sinkhata, rising and present and passing away, right? So in those sutta also we can find three sub-movement or the mind movement, right? Or the mind, arising, present, and dissolution. Regarding the speed of the mind, it is very good to know what the Buddha taught in Anguttara Nikaya, chapter 1, sutta number 48. So the Buddha said that, Bhikkhus, I do not see even one other thing that changes so quickly as the mind. It is not easy to give a simile for how quickly the mind changes. So the Buddha said that he do not see any simile, any example to give the speed of the mind, right? It's very fast, very quick. So that means the speed of the mind is the more quickest, the most quicker, right? The quickest things in the world. We can say that. We can say that. So commentary elaborate this notion. According to commentaries, trillions of mind movements can arise within the time of a finger snap. Within the time of the finger snap, right? Not even 1 second. Maybe it is about 5 seconds, right? Right? Even within 5 seconds, trillions of mind movements. Here, you can look at the trillions of mind movements can arise. No? And some of the places, lightning to flash. Sometimes will be lightning, the flash. And also the eyes to blink. So when you blink the eyes very quick, right? It is a few seconds. But even within those seconds, trillions of mind movement can arise. But according to commentaries, right? What the Buddha taught is only this one. In Anguttara Nikaya, the Buddha said that not easy to give a simile to show the speed of the mind, right? But commentary mentioned that within the time of a finger snap, trillions of mind movement can arise. So to show the example, here you can see that 1 trillion mind movement can arise within the time of a finger snap. So this is the commentary of Samyutta Nikaya, chapter 22, sutta number 95. So there are many places that mention the speed of the mind. What is the trillion? 1 trillion behind, 12 zeros, right? 12 zeros. This is 1 trillion. So chapter 22 is regarding with the aggregate, right? So in that sutta, the Buddha said that we have a 5 aggregate. So those aggregate are emptiness, right? There is no permanent entity. They arise and passes away. They arise and passes away. So if you look at this sutta, so you will understand the commentary mention within the time of a finger snap, 1 trillion mind movement can arise. This is Samyutta Nikaya, commentary of Samyutta Nikaya. But in another sutta, the same commentary mentioned that several trillion mind movements can arise within the time of a finger snap. So this one is much. So several trillion mind movement, not even 1 trillion, right? I think that if we take it literally, if we don't want to take it literally, that means within a short time, numerous mind movement can arise, right? But if we look at the same commentary mention different usage, right? Different usage. That means I think that we shouldn't take literally, right? Even we take it literally, I think it is no harm. I think it is no harm. The reason is I have read one of the news that some scientists, some Japanese scientists, so they test the speed of the mind using a very powerful computers. But even very powerful computer cannot follow the speed of the mind. I don't know how they test, right? So actually the speed of the mind. Even now you are sitting in the classroom, so you can travel to United States, right? Then you can go back to your home. You're very quick, right? The speed of the mind is very quick. So that is the nature of Pali Canon commentary, right? So in the in the Pali Canon, so the Buddha said that, so he cannot give the simile or example of the speed of the mind. The commentary mentioned that within a finger snap, the time of a finger snap, trillions of mind movement can arise, right? So that is the speed of the mind. That means very quick, right? Very quick. So when you read Dhammapara, Dhammapara is the third chapter. Third chapter is regarding with the Cheta. So in Dhammapara, so you can find a very beautiful verses that explain about Chetas, right? And third chapter of the Dhammapara. And you can also learn so many stories in the commentary, Dhammapara commentary. Very beautiful, very beautiful. Lifespan of the matters. The material phenomena of the matters, rupa, also consists of 3 stages: arising, present, and dissolution, right? Dissolution, the same thing. The lifespan of each matter is equal to 70 mind moments. Equal to 70 mind moments. In other words, it lasts. The lifespan of a matter lasts 51 mind moments, right? 51 sub-mind moments. So you can multiply 70, multiply 3 equal 51, right? So the lifespan of a matter is a 51 sub-mind moment, right? I think it's very important to know before you learn the mind process. So if you, okay. Sorry?
It should be 49, not 51.
Actually, its lifespan is a 51. So the first one is
the rising.
arising.
Yes.
The last one is a dissolution. In between, this is a present. So altogether, 51.
Because Bhante, the arising of the rupa take one sub moment.
Yeah, yeah.
So the falling also take one sub moment. So
Yeah.
the present of the rupa is only 49.
Yeah, yeah. But here, the lifespan actually is not. I'm talking about the lifespan of the rupa, not the present.
Okay.
Yeah. Then I think during the lesson, I think you can contribute an idea as well, because I think that you know much about the mind process, right? Then if you find it, then you can contribute your idea. I think he's very. I listen his teaching is very good, right? Then I think it is a good idea to teach. Maybe if you are okay, maybe one day, then you can teach. Maybe after 1 week or 2 weeks, if you are okay. So I think you will have a two opinions, right? Two opinions. You will know better. Okay, so this is the lifespan of a matter. Each matter is actually we are talking about in general. In general, so some material, some matter does not last 70 mind moment. Actually, some material phenomena, some of them are equal to mind moment, right? But some of them are even less than mind moment, the lifespan of mind moment. But generally talking, right? Generally talking, the lifespan of each matter is equal to 70 mind moments. If we take it sub-mind moment, 51, right? 51. So among the 51 sub-mind moments, the first sub-mind moment is the arising of a matter. So we have a 51 sub-mind moment, right? And the first one is the arising of a matter. So that means the duration of arising of matter or the mind are equal, right? They are the same. They have only sub-mind moment. The last sub-mind moment is the dissolution of a matter. In between, we have a 49 sub-mind moments. So they are the presence of a matter, right? So that means the lifespan of the presence of the lifespan of a matter is very long, right? Very long. And arising of matter and passing away of matter are the same as a mind moment, right? Only the presence of the matter, 49 sub-mind moments. I think it's important to know this concept, and then later I will explain a little bit. Any question? Okay, no question. Generally, it takes 70 mind moments for impingement of the objects on the sensitivity, pasara. So this is a formula of arising of a matter. So generally speaking, so the impingement of the object to the sensitivity, on the sensitivity. Suppose the object means visible object, the impingement of the visible object to the eye sensitivity, right? It takes 70 mind moments. It takes longer, right? But the mind moment is very quick. If you wish, then you can think at once. But the impingement of the matter to the mind, it takes 70 mind moment, right? So this is a formula arising or in matter. Within a short period of time, countless material forms or material phenomena are rising and passing away one after another. But we do not notice, we cannot notice that we do not have a sufficient concentrations or sufficient mindfulness. So normally, Pali Canon mentioned that nadi soto viya. Actually, the rising and passing away of material phenomena are just like a flowing of water current in the water. But if you see the water in the river, so you might think that it is the same water, right? But it's changing. It's changing. Actually, it's changing. Just like that, if you see a passing, you might think that it is the same passing. Not the same passing, right? Everything is changing. So my body you see right now is not the same as the body you saw yesterday, right? For that reason, a very famous quote taught by the wisdom philosopher: you cannot dive into the river twice, right? So that shows that arising and passing away of material phenomena, your body. You dive into the water 1 minute ago, then all material phenomena in your body already passes away. Then you dive into the river again, a different form, right? Different body. So I think it also shows the nature of arising and passing away of material phenomena. I have read, I have listened scientific discovery of material phenomena. What they call it, atom, right? Atom. So atoms are changing. They are moving. So actually, not they are moving. They are arising and passing away. Arising and passing away. So scientists can discover the impermanent nature of material phenomena, right? Material phenomena. So I think that the Buddha himself penetrate his body and his mind. For that reason, he is always emphasize the importance of impermanent nature of the body and mind. Before he died, what he said is Handa Dani Bekwe Amandeya Miyo Vayadhamma Sankhara Apamadena Sambadeda. Means strike on with the mind, with the mindfulness and diligence. All conditioned phenomena are subject to decay, subject to passing away. That is the last word of the Buddha. The importance of impermanent nature of the body and mind, right? So if we see that impermanent nature of the mind and body, and we can reduce the amount of suffering. We do not know the impermanent nature of body and mind, and we cannot accept it. For that reason, when we see the real nature of impermanence in our life, and we suffer, right? If we know and if we can accept it, and the more you can accept, then the more you can reduce the amount of suffering, right, in our life. So now let's look at the indoor process. Actually, I have taught last week. I think I don't need to talk about much. So stream of bhavanga, past bhavanga, Vibrational bhavanga, arrest bhavanga, fight door adverting or fight or switch, unconsciousness, receiving consciousness, investigation, determining, and javana. Javana is not translated. Actually, one of the famous CRO in Myanmar right now, he translated as a dynamic, a very powerful force, right? Dynamic means a very powerful force. So if you have a javana in your mind, you experience the object fully, right? I think the way he translates is very beautiful, dynamic. I will use powerful force, right? Then after that, followed by two retentive or two registration, right? Then after that, stream of bhavanga. Then just look at the small one. So if you look at blue color one, so these are not active mental process. So they are passive mental process. So that they are the result of our karma in previous life, right? So these bhavanga take the object of our the last thought movement in previous life, right? In previous life. So the red color one are active process of mind. So they take the object that arise in this life, right? In this life. So we have a 40 active process of consciousness, right? 40 kind. So when you look at the number 1 to 70, right? 1 to 70. So this is the lifespan of a matter. A lifespan of a matter. So that means when we see something, right? Then our eye sensitivity, visible object impinge to our eye sensitivity, right? So when impingement is very strong, only one pass bhavanga. After that, bhavanga will vibrate. Then after that, it will stop, right? Arrest bhavanga. Then after that, fight door adverting or fight door switch. Then unconsciousness, receiving, investigating, determining, javana, to retentive, then stream of bhavanga, right? But here, so the material phenomena arises because of contact between eye sensitivity and visible object. So the starting point is here, Pass Bhavanga, the first sub-mind movement. So in the Pass Bhavanga, we have a 3 sub-mind movement, right? So the first one, the first sub-mind movement is the arising of material phenomena, right? Here, the last one, look at the 70, second retentive chapter, right? So the last sub-mind movement of second retentive chapter is dissolution of material phenomena, right? In between, we have a 49 sub-mind movement. So this is the presence of material phenomena. Here, material phenomena means a material phenomena that arises because of impingement of material visible form to the eye sensitivity. When material phenomena arises, right? So that is its lifespan, right? Its lifespan. Generally, duration of material phenomena lasts 70 mind moments, right? 70 mind moments. Now let's go the 4 presentation of objects at 5-door process. So 5-door process means eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, right? Here presentation means the presentation or appearance of the object to our mind, in our mind, right? In our mind. So that is a presentation or appearance of objects at the vital process. But one very great, atimahanta. If the object here, the object is too great and too prominent that it makes a big impact to the mind, and contact is too obvious to the mind, so therefore it's very great. As I said that great here means how to say, not size, right? Not the size or not the quality, not the quantity, right? It depends on the mind and also the object and also the time and other condition, right? Some object may be the same quality, the same quantity, the same size, but different time, different perspective, right? Different feeling. So it depends not in terms of size, quality or quantity. It depends on the mind, right? So the impingement of the object is too obvious and too distinct with that. So it takes only one mind moment, right? It takes only one mind moment. Otherwise, it takes only one paspavanga, right? But if the object is not that great, stay great, but it needs two mind moment to have an impingement of mind and object. And that one is light, right? Paritta. And fourth one is very light, atiparitta. Then I will go in detail. And you can look at, for this one, you can look at page number 153, right? We have a 50 presentation of objects at indoor process. 50 presentation of objects at indoor process. As a very great, we have a one presentation, one appearance of the object in the mind, right? Then, as a great, we have a two appearance or two-way of presentation or two-way appearance of the object in the mind. Then number 3, 6 presentation of objects in indoor process. Number 4, very light, atiparitta. 6 presentation of objects or 6 appearance of the objects at the indoor, right? So altogether 50. We have a 50 presentation of objects at the indoor process. Later we will go in detail, right? We'll go in detail. Then you can look at page number 161. All the time I will refer to 161. A very big chart. I think if you look at this one, it's more than enough, right? More than enough. Then you can see here the very great, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. 50, right? 50 presentation of the object at the eye door, and also the ear door, etc. Number 1, the very great object, right? Atimahanta aramana. So here, bhimi bhavanga, stream of bhavanga. Then we will have a bracket, right? We have a bracket, and between two brackets, so these are 70 mind movement, right? 70 mind movement. Another one, it is the lifespan of a matter, right? Bhimi, bas bhavanga, vibrational bhavanga, arrest bhavanga, vital at button, eye consciousness, receiving consciousness, investigating consciousness, determining consciousness, 7 jhana, 2 registration or 2 retentive, right? Then after that, stream of bhavanga. So this is so when the object is very clear to the mind, right? If our attention is 100%, right? And we will have that one. We need only one best bhavanga. Then if you look at 2 and 3, the great object, right? The great object. So 2 great object. Number 2, stream of bhavanga, 2 best bhavanga, right? But there is no 2 registration. There is no 2 registrations. Then number 3, 3 best bhavanga. 3 best bhavanga. The more the object is lesser and lesser, or less significant or less clear, then the more we have best bhavanga, right? Best bhavanga. Then number 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 6 slight object, right? In the 6 slight object, there will be no jhana. There will be no jhana. So we have a 4 best bhavanga, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? 8, 9. So the slight object interact with determinant, right? Determinant. And 10 to 50 is the very slight object. So start out with the 10 best bhavanga up to 50 best bhavanga. There is no even so in the very slight object, there is no active process of mind. There is no fight adverting. There is no unconsciousness, etc. So it's interact with the vibrational bhavanga, right? So I think later you can refer to this page, right? Now let's go and look at the whiteboard. So we have a 75 presentation of objects at the 5-door processes. Indoor process, we have a 50 presentation of objects. Ear door process, the same thing. Nose door process, 10-door process, and body door process, 50. Altogether, 75. So these are 75 presentation of objects at the 5-door, right? At the 5-door mind process. 5-door process, right? And you can look at the same page, 161, right? 161. Let's go the first one. So as you all know that we have in the indoor process, we have a 50 presentation of 50 type of appearance of the object in the indoor, right? It's very easy way, right? Okay, let's see. So the first one is a very great object, atimahanta ramana. The impingement of the object on the sensitivity is so strong that the object are able to contact with the sensitivity after one mind moment has passed. So the object is very strong. So here, the impingement or the striking of the object to the sensitivity. Suppose when you see somebody, so that is the object, right? So that object impinge to your eye sensitivity. That person is very clear to you, the one you know, the one you left. Then your eye is very sharp. You have a good eyesight, right? Then the impingement of these two, the object and sensitivity, is very strong and very prominent that it need only one mind moment to have contact, between these two, right? Between these two. So for that reason, it's very strong, a very great object. So it need only one mind moment. So one mind moment here means past bhavanga, right? Past bhavanga. Suppose in the indoors, visible objects are able to strike the eye sensitivity as soon as one Pasbhavanga Cheda arises. Then after one Pasbhavanga finish, right? So such one is called very great objects. Very great objects. As I said that, the object may be, the size may be big or small, but it is very important for you. But you have your very good eyesight, and you have a very innate light, right? Daytime, and also you have full of attention, 100 attention. So in those times, so the impingement of the object to the sensitivity, your eye sensitivity, is very quick. After one Pasbhavanga finish, then at once, right? It have contact, right? Contact. So for that reason, it's called very great object. It need only one Pasbhavanga for the object to contact with the sensitivity. So there's only one Pasbhavanga, right? Only one Pasbhavanga. Then after that, your bhavanga vibrated because active process of mind is going to arise. For that reason, it's going to stop. Bhavanga is going to stop. It vibrate, right? Because the object impinge to the eye sensitivity, right? So therefore, the bhavanga that ran smoothly, it vibrate, it shake. So that is called vibrational bhavanga. Then after that, that bhavanga stop. So that is called arrest bhavanga, right? Arrest bhavanga. Then after bhavanga stop, then five door advancing consciousness arise. So the door is open, then eye consciousness. Will be eye consciousness, right? The eye consciousness. Then after that, we receive that object and we investigate it and we determine what is it, right? We determine what is it. Then after that, after determining, and you fully know, that object, right? That object, then you fully enjoy that object. That is called javana. So actually we have 7 javana. So generally, javana arises 7 times, sometimes 6 times, right? So javana is a powerful force to enjoy the object that you see, that you hear, etc. Then after that, the object is too strong that you could not stop with the javana. You enjoy again. You experience the object again. So that is retentive cheda, 2 retentive cheda. So that means retentive means the cheda that take the same object that was taken by javana. So that is called retentive or registration, right? Then after, as you all know that we have 70 mind movement, right? 70 mind movement is completed. So as soon as second retentive cheda finish, then how to say the visible object appear in the eye sensitivity. So actually, the visible object cannot appear in the eye sensitivity at once because the lifespan of material form is very long, longer than mind movement. So it takes 70 mind movement for the material or visible form to contact with the eye sensitivity, right? So that is 70 mind movement. After 70 mind movement, then stream of Bhavanga. So the mind fall back to Bhavanga, right? So then now you will one material phenomena. One material phenomena, right? So that is the cognitive mental process or the very great object, right? So look at this one. So in the very great object, we need only one pass Bhavanga. We need only one mind movement to pass, right? Then after one mind movement finish, then the visible form, how to say, can impinge to the eye sensitivity, right? Eye sensitivity. So that is the mental process. So if you look at this one, so past Bhavanga is one mind movement, right? But it has three sub-mind movements: arising, presence, and dissolution, right? So here, arising is starting point or the lifespan of material phenomena, starting point, right? Then we have a two retentive chatter. So the left sub-mind movement of second retentive chatter is dissolution of material form, right? Material form. Then in between, we have a 49 sub-mind movement. So that is the presence of material form, right? So altogether, we have a 51 sub-mind movement. In other one, we have a 70 mind movement. So that is the lifespan of matter, the lifespan of material form, right? Then after one material form, then you have a lot of mental process. Then after that, another unconsciousness again, right? So there are a lot of cognitive process arises within a minute, right? Within a short period of time. As you all know that when we see somebody, we know everything, right? We can recognize their face, their clothes, and we can hear their voice, right? But to know all these one, we need millions and billions of and trillions of mind movement, right? According to commentaries. So that is the how the mind is the, how to say, the embodied, right? So therefore, the Buddhism always emphasize the importance of the mind. So we train the mind. It is called concentrations. The cultivation of the mind, it is called concentrations, right? Through concentrations, we can get wisdom, right? Okay, that is the one very great object. Now we have a one mental process, right? Mental process. So this mental process is also known as Dhararamana Vara. It calls indent with the retentive chatters. So it indent with the two retentive chatters. So therefore it is called Dhararamana Vara, right? Dhararamana Vara. Now let's go to the next one. Great, right? Great object. So there are two types of great objects. Mahantaramana. The first one, the first great object mental process need two pass Bhavanga. It need two pass Bhavanga chatters for the object to impinge on the sensitivity. Suppose you see somebody and that person, that object impinge your eye sensitivity, right? So because it is not as powerful as previous one, so it need two pass Bhavanga or two mind movement to pass. Then only after that, that object impinge to your eye sensitivity, right? So that is the object, maybe because of the object or because of your eyesight or because of the supporting other factor like a light, attention, etc., right? So the first great mental process need 2 Paspavanga Cheda, and second type needs 3 Paspavanga. This one is weaker, right? Maybe because of the object or because of your eyesight or other supporting factor. So it needs 3 Paspavanga or 3 mind movement to pass for the object to be able to contact with the sensitivities, right? Sensitivities. So if you take it in easy way, 2 Paspavanga and 3 Paspavanga, right? Then if you look at page number 161, then you can see, right? 2 Paspavanga and 3 Paspavanga, 2 and 3, right? 2 and 3. But at the end, there's no retintive cheda, no dharamana, right? So it enter with javana. So in this mental process, 2 retintive chedas, dharamana, cannot arise because the impact of the object on the sensitivity is not as strong as very great objects, right? So for that reason, 2 retintive cheda cannot arise. You might say that out of 2, 1 can arise. No, this is a, I want to say the process of the mind, right? This is the nature of the mind. 2 retintive chedas always take place together. If the object is not very great, both of them will be absent altogether. So regarding with the retintive chedas, we have a 3 criteria. Later we have to learn, right? So even though the object is a very great object, but if it have been in the Brahma realm, it have been during your jhana period in human realm, you don't have retentive cheda, right? So with 3 characteristics or 3 criteria. So later we will have to learn this one, right? So for the time being, if the object is not very great, so there will be no retentive cheda, right? So they always arise together. These 2 arise together. If it is not very great object, so both of them will be absent, right? So here, if there are no 70 mind movements, Bhavanga Cheda have to be added to complete to the number of 70. So here, we have the first type of great object, right? 2 Paspavanga. Then after that, vibrational Bhavanga, arrest Bhavanga, 5 door adverting, eye consciousness, receiving consciousness, investigating, determining, 7 Javana. So after Javana, there's no retentive cheda, right? But if we count after Javana, we have only 60 mind movement. So the lifespan of material form is a 70 mind movement. So we need to add 1 more mind movement. So we have to add Bhavanga. So to complete 70 numbers, so we have to add 1 Bhavanga mind movement, right? So then only the lifespan of material form for the first great object is completed, right? Completed. So here you can see the some important things. So in the first great object, we have a 2 Paspavanga. Then after Javana, there is no retentive cheda, right? no retained chedas. So here, and the first great objects, so we need one mind movement. So therefore, we have to add one bhavanga cheda. So altogether 70 mind movement, right? 70 mind movement. Got it? Okay. Second one is not difficult. The contact of the object and sensitivity are weaker. So therefore, it needs 3 bhavanga cheda. So when you look at the second great object, you will see 3 bhavanga, right? So as we have a 3 bhavanga, so we don't need to add one more bhavanga. Without adding one more bhavanga, we have a 70 mind movement, right? The second great object, there's no bhavanga at the end, right? At the end. Then you can look at page number 161, right? I think very easy. Now we have a 3 presentation of the object, the Indo process, right? Indo process. Then the light object, PARITTA. Here you can see the PARITTA, the word PARITTA, right? But here PARITTA is not protection. This is small or light, right? PARITTA sometimes, normally what we know is PARITTA means protection, right? Protection. So we are chanting PARITTA verses because we need protection. But here, PARITTA means light or small. The light object. So there are 6 types of light object. PARITTA Ramana. There are 6 types of light object. Having weak sensitivities. Our sensitivities, eye sensitivity, ear, nose, tongue, the body are very weak when we grow old, especially, right? Maybe when we sick, our sensitivity will be very weak, right? And also the smaller objects or insignificant objects, even though the object is very big, it is not significant, right? It's not important in your life. And also lacking all other supporting factors. Suppose when you are at night time, you don't have light, inner light, right? Also for the ear, so there's no inner space, right? Inner space. For the tongue, no enough water element, right? For the nose, air element. And for the body, the earth element, right? Etc. So the lacking of other supporting factors, most importantly, attention, right? Manasikara. Attention. You don't have enough attention. Even though somebody is coming in front of you, no attention to them. So because of lack of other supporting factors. So the impingement or striking of the object to the sensitivity can be only after 3 to 9 bhavanga chedas. Sorry, 4, sorry, I forgot to sign. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 bhavanga cheda has passed. You can look at this one. So in the light object, 7 jhana cheda cannot arise. Since the object as well as sensitivity are too weak, right? You cannot experience the object. You cannot experience the object. Here, the most important one is the mind trying to figure out what is it, for 2 or 3 times. So when you see something, because of that object or because of your insight or because of lacking supporting factors, right? You cannot figure out what is it, determine it, right? So therefore, so there's no jhana, you cannot experience that object. you cannot experience that object. You just have determining cheda. Normally, determining cheda arises only one time, right? But here, 2 or 3 determining chedas. Because your mind is figuring out what is it, right? So 2 or 3 determining chedas. But it cannot make a full determination, and it forward to bhavanga chedas. So after 2 or 3 determining cheda, without javana, without retinue cheda, it forward to bhavanga chedas, right? 6 type of light objects. So here, the first one is 4 plus bhavanga. So only after 4 plus bhavanga, the impingement of object to the sensitivity can arise, right? Can happen. Then after that, we have vibration bhavanga, arrest bhavanga, fido arbari, eye consciousness, receiving and investigating, right? And we have a 2 determining. Up to here, how many mind movement? 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. To complete 17 mind movement, how many bhavanga we have to add? 5, right? But if we add 3 determining cheda, we need to add only 4 bhavanga, right? So here, it can be 2 determining cheda or 3 determining cheda. Now we add only 2, so therefore we have to add another 5 bhavanga cheda movement, right? Mind movement. So altogether 70 mind movement. Then only the object can impinge to the sensitivity, right? Sensitivity. But here, even you cannot determine what is it, right? So therefore, no experience of the object. It forward to bhavanga. Then second one, you have 5 plus bhavanga. So therefore, you have to reduce 1 bhavanga at the end, right? And third one, 6 plus bhavanga, and you have to reduce another bhavanga at the end. And you have 7 plus bhavanga, so therefore also have to reduce another plus bhavanga at the end. And 8 plus bhavanga, here left only 1 bhavanga. And 9 plus bhavanga, so there is no bhavanga at the end. After 2 determining, forward to stream of bhavanga, right? Stream of bhavanga. So that is the 6 type of light objects. So when you see this one, sometime we the object have a contact with our sensitivity, eye sensitivity, ear sensitivity, etc., right? But they just impinge to our senses, but we cannot determine what object that is, what object is, right? What that object is. So in those time, so the light object, right? PARITTA, light object. So it can be 6 type. The first one, 4 plus bhavanga. So add in 2 here, 2 determining. So if you add 3 determining, then 2 determining, then 5 bhavanga. If we add 3, then we have to reduce another 1 bhavanga, right? So the last one, the last light object, so you cannot add 3 determining cheda, right? You cannot add, because if you add 3 determining cheda, it became 80 mind movement, right? So the nature of the mind is not less than 70, not more than 70. For that reason, we have to add or reduce, right? Accordingly. Okay, any question? Then let's go to the very light object. The very light object. So in the very light objects, even active cognitive chetas cannot arise. Even the active cognitive process, as we have learned that starting from 5 advancing cheta, right? 5 advancing consciousness up to retentive cheta. So these are called active process of mind. So at the very light object, even you cannot, even the active cognitive process of the mind cannot arise, because objects, sensitivity, and other supporting factors are very, very weak. Too weak, right? Very, very weak. Because of a slight contact, between the objects and sensitivity, Bhavanga Cheta vibrate twice. Bhavanga Cheta vibrate twice. For that reason, here we will have a 2 vibrational Bhavanga Cheta. We will have a 2 vibrational Bhavanga Chetas. So as you all know that we have a stream of Bhavanga, right? Stream of Bhavanga is going quietly. So the object trying to impinge or trying to strike our sensitivity, right? So because of those objects or our eye sensitivity is too weak, very, very weak, right? So it strike and it impinge, right? Only we have a 10 Bhavanga. Only after 10 Bhavanga, it can impinge, right? It can strike to our eye sensitivity. So even then, our Bhavanga vibrate twice. But it is too with that, after vibration of the Bhavanga, no more. So it fall back to stream of Bhavanga. Even active process of mind cannot arise, right? So that is the very light object, very light object. So sometime when we are doing something, right? When we are doing something, so some object may appear or may strike to our sensitivity, either ear or nose or anything, right? But you cannot experience it. But those objects trying to impinge to your senses, right? Now you are listening to the lessons, but actually my voice trying to impinge to your senses, right? You have a lot of very great objects. I hope so. But when you are listening carefully, then other object may strike to your senses. The sound of the system, right? Is striking to your senses. But when you are fully occupied with one object, right? So those objects or sounds or anything in the environment were trying to strike to your senses, but your Bhavanga vibrate, but it fall back to stream of Bhavanga, right? Because the other object is very strong, very strong. So in those times, a lot of the very light object, right? So we have a 2 vibrational Bhavanga Chetas. Then look at this one, it's very easy. The first one is a 10 Bhavanga. So the object or sensitivity or other supporting factors are too weak, very, very weak that, right? Only after 10 mind movement, it impinge to our senses. So our the vibration, our bhavanga vibrate or shake 2 times. Then after that, it forward to bhavanga. But here we have a 10 past bhavanga, 2 vibration and bhavanga, so altogether 12, right? So to complete 70 mind movement, so we have to add 5 bhavanga cheta, right? 5 bhavanga cheta. Very easy. Second one, 11 past bhavanga. You reduce another bhavanga cheta at the end, and 12, and 30, 40, and 50, right? So when you look at the last one, so 2 vibration and bhavanga. So therefore, 70 mind movement completed, right? Completed. So that is 6 type of very light object. 6 type of very light object. So altogether, so there will be 50 presentations of objects in our eye doors, right? In our eye doors. In our ear doors also, the same 50. Nose, 10, the body, 50, multiplying 5, 75, right? 75. Any question? Okay, Mr. Yak, you want to discuss something? No, right? Okay. If so, then let's go to next one. 2 presentation of object. 2 presentations of object at the mind door process. So number 1 is clear. Number 2, obscure, right? Obscure. Vibhuta, avibhuta. Generally, the impact of the object to the sensitivity determine the occurrence of cognitive process at the 5 door. So as we have learned that, so it depends. How to say, mostly on how to say the object, right? The object. The power of the object determine the occurrence of mental process at the 5 door, whether they are great or very great, or light or very light, right? But regarding with mind door process, the power of the mind determine. The power of the mind determine whether clear or obscure, right? So when you are meditating, you close your eye, right? You close your eye. Then you're trying to, your mind is walking, right? The mind is walking. It is the power of the mind, right? It is power of the mind. Will determine whether it is clear or obscure. You still remember when we practice the kasina meditation, right? Then we see kasina object and we close our eye. We're trying to visualize in our eye, right? But we still see, even though we close our eye, we still see the object of kasina. But that it stay material form. But later it transforms to the very bright light. It's circle light, right? It is the power of the mind. Whether that bright light is clear or obscure, right? The power of the mind, right? Generally talking, right? Generally talking. It is the power of the mind that determines whether clear or obscure at the mind door. Here we have 2 type of mind door process. 2 type of mind door process. Then you can look at page number 152, page number 164. Later, not now. It's very, very complicated. And then number 1, confirmation and mind door process. Look at page number 164. Page number 164. Confirmation and mind thought process. I want to use a very easy way, follow-up mind thought process. Follow-up mind thought process. Tranuotika manodara Vithi. So the mind thought processes follow by the physical sense thought processes. Suppose you see somebody with your eye, right? So there is a indoor process. Indoor process. Then after that, you visualize that passing in your mind, right? So that is called confirmation and mind thought process. You trying to visualize that passing in your mind, right? That is called confirmation and mind thought process. Actually, it takes the object of a physical sense thought processes. After indoor process, then your mind trying to take that object, the same object. So that is called follow-up mind thought process, right? And second one, question? The second one is the bare mind thought process. Soda manodara Vithi. So that is mental process that occur solely at the mind door. It doesn't connect with any physical sense doors. It arises barely or solely in the mind, right? Solely in the mind. So we will learn two type of mind or process. But when you look at page number 162, 164, and 152, and you can read it later, right? You can read it later. Confirmation and mind thought process. Even after the whole physical sense thought process is complete, the mind does not know and recognize the object at once. I think that's a very important concept. Normally, we always say that I have eye, then I see somebody, right? Somebody. And that object impinges to my eye sensitivity. But it takes 70 mind movement, right? To complete. Paspawanga, etc., right? Up to 2 retintive chaidas. So when we learn 5 physical thought process, we always explain at the end of complete thought process, we know and we can experience, right? Actually, it is not so. It's not so for the convenience for teaching. According to Abhidhamma concept, even after, you can look at 164, right? 164. Even after the whole physical sense thought process is complete, even after indoor process is complete, we do not know the object. We do not recognize the object. We do not know that person who is, even your father, even your mother, you do not know yet. So according to Abhidhamma concept. So for that reason, even 1 second, billions of mind movement can arise. That is a Abhidhamma concept, right? Abhidhamma concept. A pure mind thought processes need to follow to know the object. So it is called confirmation and mind thought process. In other words, we can call it follow-up mind thought process. Mind thought processes, right? So we need a lot of mind thought processes to follow. So then only we know it. We know it, right? We know it. Even you see your mother, thought process arises, right? Then after that thought process complete, you do not know who she is, right? Then you need to, your mind have to walk, right? Have to walk. And you need to have a few mind thought processes, right? Then only you can decide, wow, this is my mother. Right? is my mother. That is a Abhidhamma, right? So we have a 4 confirmation and mind of process or follow-up mind of processes, right? 4 step. Number 1, Atita Kahana Vithi. Atita Kahana Vithi. Mind of process that takes the past objects just perceived by physical sense thoughts. Suppose now we see somebody, that you see your mother, right? Then your mind, you have a mind of process, right? Taking the same object, taken by your mind of process, right? Your mother. So that is called Atita Kahana. The past here, Atita means the past. The past object just taken by physical sense thoughts. But here, even here, not only mind of process, separate mind of processes occur at the mind, as the mind need to take different part of the object. When you see your mother, you need to see the whole part of the body, your head, the hand, the clothes, the leg, etc. Right? So you need to take different part of the body. For that reason, you need to have a lot of mind of processes. So that is called Atita Kahana. And second one, mind of process that takes the object as a whole. Now you can see the whole body of your mother, right? As a whole. So it also have a lot of mind of process here. Not only one, right? Not only one. Mind of process that take the object as a whole. Samuhakana. Another one is mind of process that recognize the entity or the object. Entity. So that means the body of cow and the body of human being, the body of your mother, right? So the entity, the whole entity. So previous one is taken as a whole, right? The first one is you are taking different part of the body. Second one, you have to see as a whole, right? Now you can see as a body. As a body. Mind of process that recognize the entity or the object. That is the body of the cow and the body of human beings. Attakana Vithi. And the last one, mind of process that recognize the names. Now you can remember your mother, right? The name of your mother. She is the lady. She is my mother. Actually, mental images in your mind, right? Mental images in your mind. So that is not ultimate reality. That is created. Your mind created it. So therefore, it is called panyati, right? Concept in your mind. You construct the name and the appearance. So if you see as an entity, but here also, if you see as an entity, it is also not ultimate reality. It's not paramata. There's no entity at all. As I earlier said, that is a devoid of entity, right? Sonyata, emptiness of entity, right? So we can analyze the whole body in terms of element, in terms of basis, right? If you see as an entity, so that is also the first one and second one, it is ultimate realities. It is material form, right? But third and fourth one, it is concept in your mind. So your mind constructed as a mother, your mother, right? There is no mother. That doesn't mean that. So here, I think as a Buddhist, you need to know the term, right? Conventional truth and ultimate truth. So if we're talking about ultimate term, right? So there's no mother, There's no son, no daughter, not even you, right? Not even me. There's only material form and mental form, right? Material phenomena and mental phenomena. So therefore, no entity. Whatever name you call it as an entity, that is wrong, right? So in the Majjhima Nikaya, one of the monks called Sati, he used the word Vijnana as a consciousness, right? But his idea is the same consciousness travel to next life, go to next life. He take it as an entity, right? Entity which is permanent. That is wrong view. Whatever name you call it, right? It is wrong view. So according to Buddhism, there's no entity, right? Entity. So the last one is mind of process that recognize the name. So then only you know this is my mother, right? This is my mother, this is my friend. So even that is not one I consciousness. It's not one I-door consciousness. It is not one mind-door consciousness. It is trillions of, I will say that according to commentaries, numerous mental processes, right? Mental processes arises. So then only we know it. We know it. So San teacher said that if you look at the projector, you will see a lot of letters here, right? A lot of words. Actually, to know mind, mind, you have a lot of mental process need to take place, need to arise. First, you see right? That is I consciousness, I-door consciousness, right? Then you take it as a as a different part of right? So this one, different part of that's the first part. Second one, you take it as a whole right? Then you take it as an entity. Then you know it as this is the name, right? So you have a lot of mind or processes. Then you move on I. The same thing, right? The same thing. So to complete the whole mind, we have a lot of I-door processes, a lot of mind-door processes, right? That is explained by Abhidhamma teachers. So they explain in this way, right? Even one word, right? You need a lot of mind process. Okay, so that is the confirmation and mind-door processes, right? So that is the mind-door process. If the object is clear. So here, the object me, it can arise, any object can arise in the mind. It can be past, future, present. It can be timeless, nibbana concept, right? So any type of object can arise in the mind. So here, as I said that, it is the power of the mind decide whether it's clear or obscure, right? Generally talking. Sometimes, even though you have a very powerful mind, if you cannot digest the lesson, right? It will stay obscure. It will stay. It's nothing to do with the power of the mind, right? It's also sometimes is the how to say that, the power of the object as well, right? Power of the object as well. So here, vibration and bhavanga. So here, one of the you need to know one important things. In the mind of process, there is no past bhavanga. As you all know that mind is very quick, so quick that the Buddha said that no example, no simile to compare, to say, to talk about the speed of the mind, right? So therefore, we don't need to pass any mass mind moment. As soon as our mind trying to take one object, at once our bhavanga vibrate, our bhavanga shake. Then it stop, rest bhavanga. Then after that, mind or advardin, mind or advardin. Then after that, seven javana, seven javana. Then after that, two retinted cheda, right? Then after that, stream of bhavanga. So that is the mind or process, right? That is the mind or process. So here, when you look at the mind or process, actually I didn't write down the note. I need to write down the note for that. In the mind or process, so we don't have pass bhavanga. We don't need to pass any mind movement. The reason is the mind is very powerful and very quick, right? For that reason, there's no need to pass one mind moment. So as soon as we think or we take the object, whether it can be past, the object in the past, future, the present, or timeless, right? Any object your mind take it, then at once the bhavanga, which is flowing in it slowly vibrate. That is called vibrational bhavanga. Then arrest bhavanga, stop at once. Then you experience the object. You don't need to receive it. You don't need to investigate. You don't need to determine, right? So just experience the object. Then after that, you have a two retinted cheda, right? After that, stream of bhavanga. So that is mind of process. In this clear mind of process. If the obscure object, mind of process, so there will be no two retinted chedas. So after javana, stream of bhavanga will follow, right? So that is two type of mind of process. Very easy, right? Okay, question. Oh, 12 mind movement, right? Here, for the convenience sake, I use the number. Actually, as you all know, that mind is very quick. So the lifespan of the mind is only 3 sub-mind movement, right? Now there's no, but of course sometime. So if our mind is walking with the matter or rupa, it will take 70 mind movement. But in general, after arrest bhavanga, then mind or advardin, then javana and retentive. So I think there's only two kinds, clear and obscure, right? So I think for regarding with the number, it's not very important, right? It's not very important. But I think we will go to two paragraph later. According to Manual Abhidhamma, we need to know these two as well. So you want to, I think that you got the answer, right?
Case of the obscure object, you have to add 2 bhavanga moments. So I was thinking that.
No need.
There it stated in the book. You need to add 2 bhavanga moments. That's why I thought that 12 for mind or process. You need to have 12.
Page number 161.
166. 166.
Page number 166, right?
Yeah, I thought that for mind moment, for mind process, you need to have 12 mind movement. Just like the 5 cents door process, you need to have 17. No, it's not the case.
Mr.
Thank
Yap,
you.
any idea? Sorry, no idea.
Hello? Okay, as a general rule, the rupa the life of rupa have 17 mind movement. So those mind or top process only taken 13, 14, what you call it, the mind movement. The rest of the slot, the bhavanga will automatically take over. Because the function of bhavanga is to make sure our mind continues flowing. So actually, you don't have to worry. Once you stop at 13, the bhavanga, the stream of bhavanga will continue. So you fill up the 17, what you call the 17 mind movement. You got what I mean? So because the time slot is for you, the 17 mind movement time slot is for you. So even you take up the 14 only, the rest will fill up by the stream of bhavanga.
Okay, I think actually I haven't studied this one, but according to this book, of course, yes, it looks like we need to fill up, how to say the 12, right? To complete 12, we need to add another 2 bhavanga. It looks like this. But I didn't study this one, this rule, right? Okay, so look at the page number 166, summary. Under the summary, three mode and 10 different states of consciousness in the cognitive process are told. It should be explained that in detail. There are 41 kinds here, right? But here we have 3 types. One is a 3 motor process shaders, active process shader. If you look at guide, right? 3 motor, the process shader are mind or adverting, jhana and registration or retentive. In the mind or process, so here we have only 3 kinds regarding with active mental state is concerned, right? Mind or adverting, number 1. Number 2, jhana. Number 3, retentive. Only 3 mode, right? 3 kind. But the regarding with different state, and we have a 10 state of consciousness, right? 10 state of consciousness. Mind or adverting count as a 1. We have a 7 jhana, right? 7 jhana mind movement. Then altogether 8. We have a 2 retentive. Altogether 10, right? 10 different state of consciousness, right? So you have to know it. But here, the 41 chatas in total, right? In detail. 41 in detail. So that means we have a 1 mind moment, right? 1 mind moment. And now we are talking about, even though we're talking about mind thought process, we are talking the mind thought process that is connected with the senses, right? Connected with the senses. So therefore, we have to take only 29 sense sphere jhana cheda. 29 sense sphere jhana chedas. So we don't have to take jhana jhana cheda and supramani jhana cheda. Now we are talking about mind or process that are connected with the senses, right? So later, next week, we're talking about jhana consciousness. So for the time being, we have to take javana as the javana cheda that are connected with the senses. So that means we have a 90 sense sphere javana cheda. Oh, sorry, 29. And also we have a 11 written cheda. Altogether, 41. Right? 11, 29, 40. And mind or advardin, 41. Right? For those who are taking exam, I think you have to take note this one as well. For the YMBA student. Another one, please look at page number 162. Page number 162. Summary, right? Summary. So this talk about the summary of the five door process, right? Five door process. In the five door process, we have a 7 mode. Here, 7 mode. That means we have a 5 door advardin, right? Number 1, 5 door advardin. Number 2, sense consciousness. We have a sense consciousness, means we have a eye consciousness, ear consciousness, etc. Right? Number 1, number 2. And number 3, receiving consciousness. Then number 4, investigating consciousness. And number 5, determining consciousness. Then number 6, javana. And number 7, retentive. So we have to count as the active process of the mind, right? So the mode of consciousness. So here, 5 door advardin, sense consciousness, then receiving, investigating, determining, javana, retentive or registration, right? These are 7 modes. And we have a 40 different state of mind, consciousness, right? 40 different state of consciousness. We have a 1 5 door advardin, and we have a 1 sense door consciousness, right? And we have 1 receiving consciousness, and 1 investigating, 1 determining, and 7 javana. 7 javana means 12, right? 12. Then 2 retentive. Altogether 40, right? 40 state of consciousness. And we have a 54 in total. Here, 54 means the consciousness that are connected with the senses. That is nothing but 54 sense sphere consciousness, right? Sense sphere consciousness. So that you have to take note this one as well, right? I forgot to take in my note. It's good. I think it's very important for the students, right? For the students. Any question? Okay, so there are no question. Then let's close our class. Announcement. We have an announcement. Please wait for a while.
Hello. Just one announcement, just to remind, there's a Dhamma talk this coming Monday by Bhante Buddha Rakita. The topic is Happiness is Free at this hall at 7:30. Thank you.
Yo varatam bhavaro manu jesu Sakya Muni Bhagava Gata Kecho Parakato Bala Viriya Samangi Tansukatan Saranatamu Pemi Raga Viraga Maninjama Sokan Dhamma Sangatama Patikulan Marurami Mampagunan Suvipatam Dhammami Mansaranatamu Pemi Yatha cha denama hapalamahu Chatusu susisu purisayugesu Attacha Pogala Dhammadasate Sangami Mansaranatamu Pemi. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, thank you.